The nomination plan is created in 3 steps. The first is to create a nomination plan folder, from which we will create a child of a nomination source, followed by a nomination detail. But first, we'll create the rest of our 3 remaining nomination sources. Then we will edit the names of those nomination sources. After naming all the sources, it's a good idea to save. Now that we have all of our sources, let's create a nomination detail. So we can now just simply move through the form and fill out the details of our nomination detail. After giving it a name, we move down to Source, where we can choose the inflow that this nomination will originate from. So in this instance, it will be feeder 1, and the destination can be a tank, and it will be tank 1 for this example. The nominations per period will be 24,000 barrels. The commodity will be Syncrude. The shipper, BP, and we will enable batch size variability to give it a mean batch size of 24,000 barrels, a minimum of 23,000, and a max of 25. For nomination source 2, we will have 2 nomination details within it. So for this nomination detail, we will call it nomination inbound light 2. The source will be feeder 2, destination tank 2, nominations per period 24,000, the commodity will be SSX, the shipper Shell, and we'll have the same batch size variability as before. So a mean size of 24,000, a minimum size of 23,000, and a max of 25,000. Now that you have an idea of how to fill out the nomination details form, I will simply continue to fill out the rest of the nomination details. Now that we've configured our first set of nominations from the inflows to the tank, we need to create a second set of nominations from the tanks to the final destinations. So first, we will rename it with nomination outbound light 1. The source, instead of the inflow, will now be tank 1, and the destination will be the outflow of final destination 1. The nominations per period will be 12,000 barrels, commodity, SIN, the shipper, BP, with a batch size variability of a mean size with 12,000, a minimum of 11,000, and a maximum size of 13,000. So after changing the name, we then move on to selecting our source again of tank 2, the destination being final destination 1, nominations per period 12,000, commodity is CL, the shipper Devon, and the batch size mean will be 12,000, minimum 11, and maximum 13. Now that you get the idea, I'll continue working away at the rest of the nomination details. Now that we've created all of our nomination sources, we can look at the nomination details in table form. In this case, I think it'll be easier to organize the table in ascending order of batch source. From here, we can easily activate or deactivate the nomination details that we wish to have present in the model. As we can see from the table, our nomination details are organized into two distinct categories of inbound and outbound. To organize these nomination details differently, we can create an additional nomination plan expand the window, and since all of the outbound details belong to nomination sources 3 and 4, we can simply drag nomination source 3 into our secondary nomination plan. And same with 4. Therefore, we can edit this as non-plan inbound and non-plan outbound.